I'm Elodi. Besides from studying, I also spend my time playing the piano and swimming. I've been practicing the piano since I was at a very young age, and throughout the years I've also participated in many competitions and races. Now when I was younger, I used to always do my best in all these competitions and do better than I did when I was practicing. But as I got older, I started to not do my best because stress always was overcoming me and I wasn't doing my best because of stress. Now, what I noticed was that this only happened when I got older, which was strange because people say that when you go out on stage more, the stress and the stage fright gets reduced over and over again. So, 2 years ago, I decided to do this recital on piano, which I would be performing 6 pieces in total. Now, this was a very big deal for me because I would show myself and other people how I progressed in piano over the years. In this recital, I would specifically do 6 pieces, and in between the 3rd and the 4th piece, I would have a short break, which my mom and my sister would play. Now, what happened was that I finished the first 3 pieces well. It was fine, I wasn't that stressed. My sister started to play. She was also playing very well. I was impressed and everyone else was. My mom started playing and she was also playing very well. But then, towards the end of the piece, she completely stopped playing the piano, turned to the audience and said, "I had a blackout, I don't remember anything." Everyone laughed, including me, but what I was thinking was, if my mom failed, why wouldn't I? What if I fail? What if I forget something and I need to go back over again? So I started to play, and as I was walking towards the piano, I was shivering, my heart was racing. I started the piece quite well, like I was surprised at how I was handling the stress. But then, as towards the end of the piece, I had to complete this scale, which seems very long, and I don't know how I even practiced that before. So, I started to play. It was fine. But towards the end, something happened and I forgot everything. I didn't know where I was, I didn't know what I was doing, and why? Why did this happen? Why did I forget everything? So then I went back and started the scale again. The same thing happened right there at that note, which is highlighted in yellow. That's where I lost everything. I had to repeat the scale 3 times in total, and finally my senses came back and I continued the piece. The last 2 pieces I also did very well. But towards the end of the recital, all I was thinking about was why I was so stressed out and why did that happen to me? So I decided to research that, and I found out that there are 2 types of stress. There's positive stress and negative stress. When I started the recital, I got positive stress, which actually impacted my performance and sort of pushed me to do better. But when I continued after the break, my stress passed the normal stage and it was very negative, so it contributed negatively to my performance. While I was performing, I was thinking, does this happen to anyone else? And I found out that one of they say the devil of piano because he mastered the instrument so well, called Horowitz, he was the one of those people who had to stop performing right in the middle of one piece, and he didn't play in concerts for years. Now, it seemed to me that this piano player right here was amazing and he never did any mistakes and would never stop performing, but it turned out that he couldn't play for years. So what I'm trying to say with this is that everyone gets this kind of stress. So if we all get this kind of stress that is always sort of pushing us to, it's sort of like taking us back one step, then how can I reduce this? Well, there's good stress, and now good stress is usually a bit out of your comfort zone, and it pushes you to do better. So it's sort of like that boost, and it sort of tells you that you're going to do your best. So you're going to do so much better than you would if you had bad stress. Now bad stress, which is also called distress, sort of takes you a step back and is an obstacle for you in your way. Now this bad stress can lead to you being concerned, and you're gonna really worry about what's happening next. But the one key thing was that this bad stress, it was something that you would think about failure, like I did when I was performing. So I was thinking of, how can I reduce this stress, or how can I stop it? But what I found out was that I can't stop this stress. Like, trust me, right now I'm so stressed while I'm performing this. So I looked up that this distress can actually be reduced or used so that you can do your best. So you can use that stress and flip it around and make you do better, so you can use it to your advantage. So what I found out was some of these tips I found out on the internet, and some from my own experiences. One of them is to identify if it's eustress or distress. Eustress is good stress. If you're feeling that, it's something that's sort of worrying you, but you're going to be fine, then you just want to, breathe, because it's going to help you. It's going to be good. Well, distress, you might really want to focus on these 4 other tips that I'm going to share, because that's a bit harder to reduce. Now, distress is usually, you need to think of these few questions. Is this helping me, or is it an obstacle in my way of doing better? Distress is usually something that won't help you at all. It won't. But you can actually focus on what you want and not on what you don't. So if you're focusing on failure, you should focus on your goal. If your goal is to do your best and perform your best, then that's what you should be thinking about. That's what your brain should be on. Your brain should be set on. You're gonna do great, not that you're gonna fail. Another thing that you should try is develop a nurturing voice. Developing a nurturing voice is sort of that voice in the back of your head that when distress comes on and it tells you you're going to fail, that voice beats distress and tells it, no, you're going to do your best. Do not listen to that voice. So I think that developing a nurturing voice, you can usually do this by telling yourself over and over again, trying to convince yourself that you're going to do great. Another thing you can do is distract yourself with happy memories. I found this very helpful, because if you distract yourself with warm memories and you put yourself in that state of mind where you were happy and you were stress-free, then you will do so much better, and you will put yourself not in stress, but you'll put yourself in happy moments. Someone else could also help you lower your distress. Now, I found this helpful because my parents, I've always told them, I'm stressed, I can't do this anymore, and they've always told me to calm down. I've also found that my piano teacher was also very helpful, because my mom used to call her on the phone, and I used to tell her that I'm stressed, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to play. And she was always telling me on what I need to focus on. So that way I was focused on what I wanted and not what I didn't want, that was to not do my best. And so I was thinking that if you stress this much, then you can reduce this, and you can use this to your best advantage. So next time you are feeling stressed, I want you to remember those tips and always think that this stress, you can reduce it, you're going to do fine, because you shouldn't let stress overcome you. You should overcome stress. Thank you.